with that, let's move on to the number 10 player on the ESPN Top 50 Big Board, which is Ohio State linebacker Sonny Styles. Sonny Styles is a former safety who converted to linebacker in 2024. So in 2022 and 2023, he played safety. And then at Ohio State, the coaching staff said, you know what? You're 6'5", 243 pounds. Let's move you to linebacker. And all he did in his first season at linebacker was get 100 tackles and 6 sacks. Now, because of his safety background, where he excels is in coverage. He's got the movement skills to cover tight ends, running backs, sometimes even wide receivers. He's very long, and he uses his length to his advantage in coverage and as a tackler. He uses his length to wrap up ball carriers, and he doesn't let them get away from him. This season, he only missed 2 tackles all season long. Unfortunately, both of those tackles were in the college football playoff against Miami. But outside of that, he did not miss a tackle all season. But I think my favorite thing about Sonny Styles is his ability to slip blocks at the second level. And I'm going to describe this in a way that probably only Avery will truly understand. And I'm going to toot my own horn here for a second. So when Avery and I were at BYU, Idaho, we played basketball together all the time. And there was one time when I was on a fast break and there were 2 defenders standing side by side right in front of me to stop me from getting inside to the hoop. Instead of stopping or going around them, I just went straight through the middle of the 2 guys and I scored. And the guys went over to Avery after I scored and said, how did he just do that? That's what Sonny Styles can do at the second level when blockers are trying to get to him. He'll just slip right through multiple guys. And when I was watching him, I was like, how did he just do that? Like, I was really impressed with his ability to just slip away from blockers at the second level. So that's probably the most impressive thing that I watched with Sonny Styles on his tape, was just his ability to slip those blocks at the second level. Overall, I think he's very impressive. He's got great size. He's got great speed. He's got good closing speed. He just makes plays. He's only been playing linebacker for 2 years, so I think he still has a lot of room to grow in that position. But I think his safety background does help him in that position as well.
I mean, I agree with this as well. I think this guy is this guy's a football player. I think, he got moved down to linebacker because Caleb Downs came over. And the thing is, he obviously took at it like a fish to water. The way I see this is this guy's very versatile. If he could do that in college, you come down here, you've got incredible size for a safety. You might not be the best run stopper, but at the same time, this guy makes it look like the inside linebacker position is coming back. I know it's still here, but it's been kind of fading for a little while. I think he's great. It's insane seeing all these guys on the same team on Ohio State. Just an incredible defense. It really makes, I'm kind of shouting out to Indiana here for beating them. Just insane. And then also Miami, shout out to Maui Noah. But no, I think this guy's great. I think he's got incredible athleticism. This guy looks like he could play small forward in the NBA as well. He's incredibly athletic. I think regardless of the position they put him at, I think he'll thrive.
The first thing I wrote down, Avery, is that he's a freak athlete playing football 20 years too late. You crushed it with that, Avery. He plays middle linebacker the way Clay Matthews, the way A.J. Hawk, the way Brian Urlacher, the way the guys of our childhood.
Fred Warner in there.
Well, yeah, Fred Warner plays it now.
Bobby
but the
Wagner?
problem is Fred Warner can't stand the field.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Bobby Wagner?
Bobby Wagner. Yeah. Great example. The way those guys play middle linebacker, and you're right. That, Avery, you were right again. That has faded out. But because that faded out, the NFL went passing, so the middle linebacker faded out, and since that faded out, we saw it last year, run percentages of teams were higher because they didn't have the stout middle linebacker. And so I think he is 20 years too late, and I think he is 1 year early in the next resurgence of great middle linebackers. And so I think we're going to be looking at Sonny Styles as the tip of this spear. We saw Fred Warner was the tail end of the last one, and we've got Sonny Styles as the beginning of this one. And I don't know how long Fred Warner's been in the league. That's my fault for not having that ready. But there is a gap between the two of them of, hey, we haven't had somebody this level since Fred Warner. And now it's, look at all these guys that we've had since Sonny Styles. Yeah, that was the first thing I wrote down. I think that's great that you said that. The problem I have for him, and we kind of have it here, is right now when they send him on blitzes, they're using him as a decoy. He doesn't have his blitzing is lackluster. He just runs downhill and whatever happens, happens. If he makes a play, great. If not, he's being a disruptor, but he's not. Him blitzing is not the main focal point. It's he's blitzing, so they'll open up the hole for the stunt in the defensive line. This is our third Ohio State player we talked about in the top 10.
Yes.
Yeah, and we're about to talk about another Ohio State player in the top 11. When you've got 3 defensive players in the top 10, you don't always have to be the focal point. And because he played safety, he can match up with the tight ends. He gets out in space and matches up with the receivers, or excuse me, the running backs and the swing routes and the screens. His closing speed, he lets the running back catch the swing pass, and before he can even take a step, he's getting drilled. And so he's making the play, he's doing the right thing. And I think similar to Caleb Downs, I think he gets caught up in the make the big hit moments. And I think that can leave him in the dust occasionally. But besides that, overall, freak athlete, wonderful player.
Absolute freak. There is one thing that I think he needs to improve on, which is something that I noticed when I was watching his tape. So when I was watching his tape, I think Sonny Styles needs to improve with his recognition and reaction time a little bit. I don't think he has great reaction time. I think he gets a little bit late of a start off the ball, like when the ball is snapped. When I watch his tape, I don't see him just fly to the ball like I did when I watched Carson Swessinger last year. Instead, I see him take a little bit of a hesitation step before he flies to the ball. Once he figures out where the play is going, he's really, really good and he flies to the ball. But when I watched Carson Swessinger last season, that dude was instantly flying to the ball every single time. Sonny Styles does not do that. Like I said, he takes a little bit of that hesitation step before he flies to the ball. So I think he does get faked out a little bit on play action and misdirection plays a little bit too much because I don't think his reaction time is the best. It's not bad. It's just, it's not on the same level as Carson Swessinger. And the reason I keep comparing him to Carson Swessinger is because that's like the best linebacker that I've scouted in the 1 year prior to this scouting that we've done. So like, that's why I keep comparing him to Carson Swessinger, because when I watched him, that dude was so impressive with his reaction time. Like he was already moving to the ball before the ball was even where it was supposed to be going. Sonny Styles doesn't do that, but once he figures it out, he's there. It just takes him a little bit of time to figure out where it needs to go. So outside of that, though, he's very impressive.
I think that will come with more linebacker experience. This is
Yes.
a second year playing linebacker, and so he's used to being safety where he has a few extra seconds to read and react.
Exactly.
At safety, you're waiting for people to come to you, the receivers, the play. You're at the main level on making the run play, and so you're waiting for it to come to you. And at linebacker, you have to get there now. And so I think that'll just come with more reps and more experience.
I agree.
Also, Mark Davis's haircut still sucks.